Yo, what's going on? UFC Fight Night in London this weekend. So that means, the fight's going to start pretty early. I think it's like at 11 o'clock. The main card starts at 1 or 2. So don't forget. It's going to be early card this weekend. But let's start off with the first fight that I like this weekend. I got a good amount of fights I'm predicting this weekend. Let's talk about Davy Grant versus Daniel Marcos. Davy Grant, he's 15-6. 15 wins, 6 losses, 37 years old, 3-2 past 5 fights. Daniel Marcos, he's 14-0, 30 years old, second fight in the UFC. He's 1-0 in the UFC so far. But guys, it's a little risky. Daniel Marcos, he's a really top prospect, 14-0, undefeated. That says a lot. But guys, time and again, we see these top prospects going against a really solid experienced fighter like Davy Grant, and they sometimes pull the upset. I mean, Davy Grant, he fought Adrian Yanez, Cheeto, Jonathan Martinez, and he's been in the UFC for quite a while now. So it's kind of risky, but the odds are pretty close. It's not that far off for Grant as a big underdog right now. So I got Davy Grant plus 122 money line against Daniel Marcos. Yeah, that's what I got for that fight. Let's talk about this next fight here. We got Jai Herbert versus Ziam. Herbert, he's 12-4, 12 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 35 years old, 2-3 his past 5 fights. Ziam, he's 13-4, 26 years old, 3-2 past 5 fights. All right, this one's kind of like a toss-up. There's not big names or familiar names that none of these fighters really fought, except for Herbert. Herbert, he fought Tapura, and I seen that fight. That was like last year or 2 years ago. Herbert, he was looking really good against Tapura. He was beating Tapura. Tapura almost lost that fight if Tapura didn't knock out Herbert. So yes, he was putting up a good fight, Herbert, until he got knocked out. But like, man, if you know who Tapura is, he's a really, really good fighter. And I haven't seen anyone in the UFC give him trouble like that. So, it's like, damn, was it a fluke? Or Herbert is he really a skilled fighter? So, I'm going to go with Herbert here, man. Plus 134 money line. I got Herbert beating Ziam. That's what I got for that fight, man. Only because, he put on a good show against the pro. Let's see what the fuck he does this weekend in England. All right, man. Let's talk about the next fight here. We got Paul Craig versus Andre Muniz. Muniz. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Paul Craig, he's 16-6, 1 draw, 16 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 35 years old, 3-2 in his past 5 fights. Andre, he's 23-5, 4 knockouts, 15 submission wins. That is fucking nuts. That's nuts. He's 33 years old, 6-1 in the UFC. His only loss that he lost to Andre was to Brandon Allen by submission. So, man, this one's kind of tough a little bit. I might be overthinking this one, but I'm going to go with Andre Muniz. Don't get me wrong, Paul Craig, he's a really good submission artist. He beat Jamal Hill. He fought pretty good fighters. You know what I'm saying? He beat Krylov, but he lost to Johnny Walker. He lost to Ozdemir. I don't know. It's just his style, guys. He doesn't know when to mix it up a little. Throw in the striking. Try grab the takedown. Or if it doesn't work, keep on going with the striking and keep going after the takedown. His ass would just stay on the fucking ground all day and He suggests you to fucking go down on the fucking ground. No. I don't see that shit happening. But I kind of do. Because Andres Muniz, he's 15 submission wins. So, damn, he might get his win by submission. They might be grappling out. But Andre has to be careful because Paul Craig, you can't sleep on his submission. Both these guys are submission artists. I feel like Andre Muniz, he'll do what he has to do, but he has to be really cautious. If he wants to get the win, I feel like he has to get this fight to stand up. Because I feel like he could throw them hands, Andre. So I'm going to go with Andre Muniz minus 230 money line, beating Paul Craig. It's gonna be a good one. I'm really interested to see how this one plays out because man, Paul Craig's been pissing me the fuck off past fights. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm going with Andre Muniz minus 230 money line, guys. That's what I got for that fight. Let's talk about the next one. Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Fili. Nathaniel Wood, he's 30 years old, 19 wins, 5 losses. He's 3-2 his past 5 fights in the UFC. Andre Fili, he's 33 years old, 22-9, 22 wins, 9 losses. Man, this one was kind of like, I'm going with Nathaniel Wood here, but like, I'm kind of a little hesitant because Andre Fili, he's longer and taller than Nathaniel Wood. Sometimes it doesn't mean shit. Sometimes it does because fighters know how to use that, advantage on these motherfuckers. But man, it's in London, guys. It's a London card. Nathaniel Wood, whenever he fights in London, the crowd just pumps him the fuck up. And he feeds off the crowd. So I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood minus 200 money line. I see him winning. Andre Fili, he's a really good fighter. This is going to be a nice matchup to see. But yeah, I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood, guys. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood. It's an England card, man. Come on. Got to. But yeah, man, that's what I got for that fight. Let's talk about the next fight, the co-main event. We got Molly Meatball McCann versus Georgia. Molly Meatball, she's 13-5, 13 wins, 5 losses, 6 knockouts, 7 by decision. She's 33 years old. Georgia, she's 10-8-2, 10 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. 30 years old. I don't know. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Like Georgia, she's 10-8. That's not a good record for UFC, guys. But Molly Meatball's minus 215 money line. I'm thinking like, damn, maybe she could have been more, like minus 400, 300. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm overthinking this shit. But Molly Meatball, her last fight, she lost to Erin Blanchfield. She lost by submission. And I see Molly Meatball here, man. I see Molly Meatball bouncing back from that loss and putting on a fucking performance. I got Molly Meatball McCann minus 215 money line. And if you want to go after the value in this fight, I got her to win by knockout or TKO. Plus 165 Molly Meatball for the co-main event. That's what I got for that fight, guys. Let's talk about the main event here. Tom Espinal versus Marcin Tybura. Tom Espinal, he's 12-3, 12 wins, 3 losses, 30 years old, 4-1 past 5 fights. Tybura, he's 24-7, 24 wins, 7 losses, 37 years old. He's 4-1 past 5 fights as well. Obviously, Tybura, he's an experienced fighter. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good fighter. Tom Espinal, he's young. He's young in the UFC compared to Tybura, obviously. But Espinal, he's beat one of the best heavyweights in the world. Spivak, Volkov, Arlovsky. His last loss was against Curtis Blades. But if you guys seen the fight, Tom Espinal, he injured himself, obviously, guys. So, who knows how that fight would have ended or turned out to be. Tom Espinal, man, he has speed, he has power, he has really, really, really good grappling skills. And how he's looking right now, like physically, he looks fucking cut, like ripped for a heavyweight. Because heavyweight are big motherfuckers. He looks pretty strong, man. He looks ready to fight. It looks like he's had a good, bounce back, going through all that surgery and shit, and the injury he was dealing with after the Curtis Blades fight. I think that motivated him a lot, and I really see a bounce back win here for Tom Espinal as well. I got Tom Espinal minus 500 money line. What the fuck can you do with that besides parlay? Double chance knockout or submissions minus 380. No value at all. But guys, this is a heavyweight fight. I can see this fight ending in the first round. So Tom Espinal to win in the first round minus 105. That's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good value because I don't know how this fight could end or turn out to be because Tom Espinal, like I said, he has the power, the speed to knock out guys, and he has the grappling skills to submit people. So I got Tom Espinal to win in round 1, minus 105. If you want to go after the value and you don't want to parlay. Or there's another choice too. Tom Espinal to win in round 2, plus 370. That's good value, but I won't be surprised if Tom Espinal wins in round 1. That's what I got, guys. I got Tom Espinal to beat Tybura in the main event this weekend. I'm going to run it back for you guys real quick. All right. I got Davey Grant, plus 122 money line, beating Daniel Marcos. The next fight, I got Herbert, plus 134 money line, beating Zion. After that, I got Andre Muniz, minus 230 money line. After that fight, I have Nathaniel Wood, minus 200 money line. Then the co-main event, I have Molly Meatball McCann, minus 215 money line. Or if you want to go after the value, TKO or knockout, plus 165. The main event, I got Tom Espinal, money line, obviously, but there's no value in that. So if you want to go after the value, Tom Espinal to win in round 1, minus 105. Or round 2, plus 370. But I like the round 1 a lot. That's what I got, guys, for this weekend. Tune in this weekend. It's an early card. Let's get it next week. If you think this weekend's going to be big, wait till next weekend, guys. I'm excited for this weekend and next weekend. It's going to be really, really, really good, guys. Tune in, like, subscribe, share all that other shit. We appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Let's get it, y'all.